Imagine this, the vegetables you've trusted your whole life, those wholesome green superstars you've been piling on your plate, might secretly be plotting against you. Today, we're diving into something that might just flip your veggie-loving world upside down. Vegetables, yes, those green, crunchy, eat-your-greens heroes we've all been raised to adore. But here's the kicker. Some of them aren't as innocent as they look, especially for seniors. I'm talking about sneaky health risks that could catch you off guard if you don't know the tricks to tame them. So picture this. You're sipping your favorite tea. Maybe you've got a cozy blanket nearby. And we're about to unpack 8 vegetables seniors should never eat, or at least not without some clever prep. I'll walk you through every step, share some stories, and make sure you leave with tips you can actually use. Sound good? Let's jump in. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a health-boosting tip from Thrive in Prime. First up on our veggie hit list, spinach. Oh, spinach, you little green charmer. It's practically the MVP of healthy eating. Popeye's go-to, the star of every salad bar loaded with iron, vitamins, and that deep green goodness we're told to pile on our plates. But here's where it gets interesting, especially for seniors. Raw spinach has a secret sidekick called oxalates. Never heard of them? Don't worry, I hadn't either until I started digging into this. Oxalates are these natural compounds that in big doses can team up with calcium in your body and form tiny, prickly crystals. Kidney stones, anyone? Yeah, not exactly the souvenir you want from your salad. Now, if you're over 60, your kidneys might not be the sprightly bouncers they once were, kicking out troublemakers left and right. They slow down a bit, and that's normal. But it also means those oxalates can overstay their welcome. I remember my Aunt Linda, who's 72, telling me how she used to munch on raw spinach salads every day, thinking she was doing her body a favor. Then boom, kidney trouble out of nowhere. Her doctor clued her in, and she was shocked. Spinach? Betraying her like that? It's like finding out your best friend's been gossiping behind your back. But don't toss that spinach out just yet. It's not the enemy, it just needs a little manners training. Here's how to keep it in line. Steam it. Grab a steamer or a pot, add a splash of water, and let those leaves soften up for 5 to 10 minutes. That heat breaks down the oxalates, making it way easier on your kidneys. And here's a bonus move. Pair it with something rich in vitamin D, like fatty fish or fortified dairy. Picture this. A plate of steamed spinach with a flaky piece of salmon, or maybe a creamy spinach casserole with some melted cheese. Not only does it taste amazing, but that vitamin D helps your body soak up the good stuff without tripping over the risky bits. And Linda's back to loving spinach now, and she swears by this trick. You can too. Next up, sprouts. You know these little guys, alfalfa, mung bean, those tiny crunchy threads you see sprouting, pun intended, in health food stores and fancy sandwiches. They've got this vibe, like they're the cool kids of the veggie world, all fresh and trendy. But here's the not-so-cool part. Raw sprouts can be a bit of a roulette wheel for seniors. Why? They grow in warm, damp conditions, basically a 5-star resort for bacteria like E. coli or salmonella. And let's be real, as we get older, our immune systems aren't exactly the ninja warriors they were in our 20s. They're more like, I'll get to it tomorrow. One bite of contaminated sprouts and you could be laid up with a stomachache or worse. I'll never forget my neighbor Tom. He's 68, fit as a fiddle, loves his garden. He decided to grow his own alfalfa sprouts last summer. Thought it'd be a fun little project. Piled them on his sandwich, raw and proud, and 2 days later, he's calling me from the couch, groaning about how he'd never trust a sprout again. Poor guy learned the hard way what science backs up. Raw sprouts are risky business. So how do we make them safe? Cook 'em. No raw sprouts allowed in this house. Grab a pan, heat up some oil, and saute those sprouts for at least 5 minutes. Or if you're more of a boiler, toss them in a pot of water for the same amount of time. Just make sure they're soft and steamy. That heat zaps the bacteria and turns a potential gut bomb into a tasty little sidekick. I like mine sautéed with a bit of garlic. Crisp, flavorful, and zero regrets. Tom's on board now too. He's not giving up his sprouts, just giving them a good cook first. All right, let's talk kale. The king of superfoods. The darling of every smoothie shop and hipster cafe. It's everywhere. Kale chips, kale salads, kale in your morning juice if you're feeling extra virtuous. But for seniors, raw kale can be a bit of a bully. It's got these tough, fibrous leaves that are like a workout for your digestive system. And if your gut's not as peppy as it used to be, that's a challenge. Plus, it's packed with goitrogens, which sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but is actually a compound that can mess with your thyroid if you go overboard. Thyroid health is a big deal as we age. Ask anyone who's dealt with fatigue or that foggy feeling from an out-of-whack thyroid. My friend Sarah, who's 65, used to be all about raw kale smoothies. She'd blend it up every morning, thinking she was invincible. Then she started feeling sluggish, and her doctor pointed the finger at her kale obsession. Turns out those goitrogens were throwing her thyroid for a loop. She was devastated. Kale was her thing. But here's the good news. You don't have to break up with kale. You just need to soften its edges. The trick? Steam it lightly. Pop it in a steamer or a pot for 3 to 5 minutes, just enough to take the edge off those fibers and dial back the goitrogens. It stays bright green, keeps all its nutrients, and goes down way easier. Sarah's back to her kale now, steaming it with a little lemon zest and olive oil. It's her new go-to, and she says it's even tastier than the raw stuff. Give it a shot. Your gut and your thyroid will high-five you for it. Number 4, asparagus. Oh, I adore asparagus. Those crisp green spears that feel like a little taste of spring no matter the season. Roasting them with a bit of garlic, chef's kiss. But for seniors, there's a sneaky catch. Asparagus has these things called purines, which your body turns into uric acid. Too much uric acid can pile up in your joints, and if you've ever heard of gout, you know what's coming. Swollen, achy knees or toes that make you wince with every step. Not exactly the springtime vibe we're going for. Plus, it's a natural diuretic. It makes you pee more, which can leave you dehydrated if you're not on top of it. My Uncle Ray learned this the hard way. He's 70, loves his veggies, and went all in on asparagus one Easter. Big pile of it, no regrets, until the next day when his foot was screaming at him. Gout flare-up, courtesy of those purines. And he was parched, too, because he didn't balance it out with water. Poor guy was hobbling around, muttering about how asparagus betrayed him. Here's how to keep the peace. Portion control and hydration. Stick to about a half cup per meal. That's a small handful, enough to enjoy without overloading your system. And after you eat it, drink up 8 to 10 ounces of water, about a big glassful. It flushes out that uric acid and keeps you hydrated. Roast that half cup with some olive oil and a sprinkle of Parmesan. Sip your water, and you've got a dish that's fancy, tasty, and totally senior approved. Uncle Ray's back on the asparagus train now. He just keeps it small and stays hydrated. Moving on to number 5, mushrooms. These earthy little wonders are the unsung heroes of so many meals. Soups, stir-fries, even a good steak topping. But raw mushrooms. Seniors, put that fork down. They've got a compound called agaritine that in big amounts might not play nice with your system. Plus they're tough and chewy when raw, hard on your teeth and your stomach if digestion's not your strong suit anymore. I'll never forget my dad's mushroom phase. He's 67, decided raw mushrooms were his new health kick after reading some article online. He'd slice them up, toss them in salads, all proud of his natural diet. Then he started complaining about stomach cramps and how they tasted like rubber. I had to break it to him. Dad, you got to cook those things. He was skeptical, but he gave it a try, and now he's a convert. The fix is easy. Cook them. Boil your mushrooms for 10 minutes, or sauté them in a pan with some butter or oil for 5 to 7 minutes. That heat breaks down the agaritine, softens them up, and, bonus, unlocks this deep, savory flavor you don't get from raw. Picture a cozy mushroom soup on a chilly day, or a quick sauté with garlic and herbs. It's night and day compared to the raw stuff. Dad's hooked now, and he's never looking back. Number 6, potatoes. Oh, potatoes, you glorious spuds, mashed with butter, roasted with rosemary, baked with a dollop of sour cream, pure comfort in every bite. But here's the snag for seniors: frying them. French fries, potato chips, anything dunked in hot oil turns this humble veggie into a heart health hazard. All that grease jacks up the fat and calories, which isn't great for cholesterol or blood pressure. Two things we're watching like hawks as we age. My grandma used to make the best fried potatoes. Crispy, golden, the works. She'd serve them up every Sunday and we'd all dig in. But when she hit her late 60s, her doctor gave her the talk: cut back on the fried stuff. She was heartbroken. Those potatoes were her signature. But she adapted, and now she's the queen of baked potatoes instead. Same love, less oil. Here's the swap: bake or boil them. Toss a potato in the oven at 400 degrees for about an hour, poke it with a fork, and when it's soft you're golden. Or boil it till it's tender, maybe 20 minutes depending on the size. You still get that warm, cozy potato magic without the grease bomb. Top it with Greek yogurt instead of sour cream, maybe some chives or a sprinkle of cheese, and you've got a dish that's kind to your heart and soul. Grandma's still the potato queen. She just rules a healthier kingdom now. Number 7, peas. These little green cuties are like nature's candy, sweet, poppable, perfect in a soup or stew. But for seniors, they've got a sneaky side. They're high in natural sugars and carbs, which can spike your blood sugar if you go overboard. And let's face it, keeping blood sugar steady gets trickier as we age. Nobody wants that shaky, tired feeling after a meal. My mom's friend Carol, who's 64, used to pile peas on her plate like they were guilt-free treats. She'd scoop up a big bowlful thinking, "Hey, it's veggies, I'm golden." Then she'd crash an hour later, wondering why she felt off. Her doctor clued her in. Those peas were staging a sugar ambush. Carol was bummed. She loves her peas, but she figured out a way to keep them around. Here's the plan: keep it small and pair it smart. Limit peas to a quarter cup per meal. That's a little handful, just enough to enjoy the sweetness without a sugar spike. And team them up with high-fiber pals like lentils or broccoli. That fiber slows down the sugar rush, keeping you steady. Imagine a warm pea and lentil stew, maybe with a little carrot thrown in. Cozy, tasty, and blood sugar friendly. Carol's back to her pea-loving ways, just with a smarter strategy. And finally, number 8, green beans. These snappy little sticks are a dinner table classic, crisp, satisfying, the perfect sidekick to any meal. But for seniors, raw or undercooked green beans have a hidden quirk. They're loaded with lectins, natural proteins that in big doses can irritate your stomach or even block your body from soaking up nutrients. As we age, digestion gets fussier, and those lectins can hit harder than they did back in the day. My cousin Mike's wife Ellen found this out at 62. She'd toss raw green beans into her salads, thinking they'd add that nice crunch. Then she'd spend the afternoon bloated and grumpy, blaming everything but the beans. Mike finally Googled it, and there it was: lectins. She was skeptical, but she gave cooking them a try, and it was like night and day. The fix: steam them well. Pop those green beans in a steamer or pot for 5 to 7 minutes till they re-tender, but still vibrant. That knocks out the lectins and makes them a breeze to digest. Toss them with a pat of butter or a handful of slivered almonds. Simple, delicious, and no gut drama. Ellen's a believer now, and she's got a whole new appreciation for her green beans. So there you have it. 8 vegetables that seniors need to approach with a little know-how. Spinach, sprouts, kale, asparagus, mushrooms, potatoes, peas, and green beans. They're not out to get you. They just need the right prep to stay your allies. Steam the spinach, kale, and green beans. Cook those sprouts and mushrooms. Portion out the asparagus and peas. Hydrate after the asparagus. And bake those potatoes instead of frying. Small changes, huge payoffs. Why bother with all this? Because as we hit our 60s, 70s, and beyond, our bodies rewrite the rules. What worked decades ago might need a tweak now. My Uncle Ray doesn't have to ditch his asparagus, and Grandma's still the potato champ. They just play smarter. This isn't about giving up what you love. It's about keeping the good vibes going. You deserve to feel great, whether you're out walking the dog, reading by the fire, or just savoring a quiet dinner. These tips are your ticket to that. All right, friends, that's the whole delicious deal. 8 veggies, 8 fixes, and a whole lot of love packed into this one. I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite vegetable, and how do you make it work for you? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this hit home for you, give it a thumb up, share it with someone who might need it, and hit that subscribe button. We've got more tips like this coming your way. Until next time, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you soon.